What's up, everybody? Thanks for swinging by the channel once again. I'm on my dirty little ADV 150. Poor thing needs a bath. Been sitting behind my house and has collected some dust and cat fur. But I'm on my way over to the storage unit to pick up the CRF300l because I wanted to make another video about that thing, kind of discussing what my intentions are for that bike and what I need to do to it before I can even carry out my said intentions. Alright, I think now we're finally ready to ride the dual sport. After I picked this thing up, I got to thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I wanted the Trail 125, but this is actually a better buy. You know, as far as like doing things that I had planned on doing on dirt roads and maybe going moto camping and things like that, this was a better purchase, basically, because it's going to be way more capable than what the Trail 125 would be, as far as like, you know, top speed and ability to go over things and you know, do dirt road stuff like I wanted to do. You know, I'm completely new to riding off-road. Ain't got a clue what the hell I'm doing. So let's talk about the things that I've figured out since I took this thing off-road onto a dirt road. And I know some of you guys probably laugh because I'm going to roll in some of the footage of the dirt road that I was riding on. Some of you guys go, no, that's nothing, you know, there's no big deal, you could do 60 down that road. And, well, I'm sure you could. A guy like me, having absolutely zero experience off-road, was planning on just taking it easy on that ride and keeping my speed down to 20 miles an hour or below. Now, here's what I discovered. When I went on that ride down that dirt road, which is just north of me, you know, it took me like a half an hour to get there, 45 minutes to get there. What I had discovered going off-road is that, yes, I have absolutely no idea what the heck I'm doing. And to me, it was kind of a sketchy experience. I wasn't scared, don't get me wrong, I wasn't scared of doing it, but I had zero idea what a bike's going to feel like off-road, you know, with like knobby tires and things like that. And it was a pretty good learning experience for me going off-road. The first thing that I did notice as soon as these tires hit the dirt was that just how squirrely the bike felt. Now, I know I've watched a couple of videos on the internet before I took this thing to the dirt roads, kind of doing a little bit of research. I know that you're kind of supposed to let these bikes, you know, do what they do underneath you as you're riding dirt and trails and stuff like that. You know, you're not supposed to... street riding is different from dirt riding. And I've had guys comment on my videos before. It's like, you should start in the dirt because it teaches you better skills on how to ride on the street. And I'm just here to tell you that's a bunch of BS. You know, if you have dirt skills, that's fine. But street riding and dirt riding is two completely different things. That's, you know, starting in the dirt, you'll be better on the street, is a bunch of bull crap. Anyways, back to what I discovered since I took this thing on the dirt road. First of all, there's a few things that I'm going to have to get for it before I continue to ride in the dirt with this bike, because the first thing that I noticed, like, you'd hear all these tink, 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 stuff like that. Turns out, and this is obvious to anybody with a dual sport, but the front tire here obviously kicks up rocks and pebbles and everything else that hit the frame, they hit the engine case, they, you know, hit the pipe, they do all that other stuff. So one of the first things that I have to get for this bike before I take it back off-road would be a skid plate for it to protect the undercarriage of the bike from flinging rocks up, and if I go over anything and it bottoms out, I want to make sure that I have the engine protected. So just for basic peace of mind. Second thing is probably maybe a new radiator guard. I mean, this one, it's shaped as to deflect rocks away from the radiator, but maybe a different one might be a good idea. The next thing that it needs is some sort of like a luggage rack on here, because all my other bikes, I have ways of storing things. You know, like my Versys X300, I have a box on the back of it. My scooter, I have the box on the back of it, and the underseat storage. My Harley Davidson, I at least have my tank bag that I can throw on the tank and keep, small items with me. This bike, I have no way of bringing things with me, so what I've been doing is just using this Maxpedition sling that I've had for many years. This is called the Lunata, and it's big enough to carry a water bottle and some other things in it. So it's like a little, a little 2-point sling that I've been using with this bike, and it works pretty well. But I would much prefer to have some sort of on-bike storage, if you will. So one of the things that I have to buy for this bike to make it more useful is a rack system. Now, I've been looking online, trying to find which would be, I want to buy, the stuff that I buy for this bike, I just kind of want to do it in one swoop and buy it all from the same website, but I discovered that that's pretty much going to be impossible. I'm going to have to probably get the skid plate and the rear luggage rack from maybe Revzilla, because they carry these, what is it, the Moose Racing or AXP. I think they're both the same thing, but there's a nice plastic skid plate made out of thick plastic, and a plastic luggage rack also made out of thick plastic, made by the same company, and they're pretty cool looking. And they're made out of plastic, so they're going to be super lightweight. So I'm going to order probably the pair of those for this bike and put them on here. But I also have in mind, I want to add navigation to this bike, which means I'm going to have somewhere cool to mount it to. And I've never been a fan of navigation mounted just right on your handlebars and kind of sticking up in your face. So what I was looking at for this bike, it's called the Zeta Windshield, and I had one on my Monkey, and I absolutely loved it because it clamps to your bar clamps here, and it comes out, and it has this mount that comes up, swings out, and it has a crossbar, like right about this high with the windshield mounted to it. And with the crossbar being up right about here, be a perfect place to mount my Garmin right there, so I can see it without having to look down too far, or off to the right or off to the left. So there's a connecting road north of here that goes past this place called Weenass Lake. Yes, that's what it's called, Weenass Lake. It's that's stupid. Anyways, it's this nice cool paved road that kind of zigzags and winds around, and it gets up into this part of north of where I'm at. And where the road ends, there's a sign there, and it has a map that kind of shows you where you're at. And then it points to this other town called Ellensburg. And ever since I've been riding, it's always been an idea of mine to take that dirt road, connect it from the town of Sela past Weenass Lake, and hit the dirt road and find my way back up to Ellensburg. I'm talking about one more thing that it needs, which I already have. It needs a little fuel bottle, either a Rotopax 1 gallon fuel can, or just like another fuel bottle, which I have one. It's in a little Nelson rig holder and things, and I already have a little Nelson rig backpack, waterproof pack, and I have all the luggage and stuff that I would need for this. I have Nelson rig side saddlebags, the waterproof ones. So I got everything that I intended to put on my Versys X300. I'm going to put on this and do side boxes for my Versys X, because I thought that these two bikes were going to be so extremely similar that it would be there would be an overlap, as far as its use case. But the more I ride this one versus riding my Versys, I am understanding that there's barely any overlap in the use case for these two bikes. The Versys 300 is 100% ADV bike, whereas this one is dual sport dirt bike. This could go places that the Versys probably shouldn't be, and yet the Versys can do things that this one has no business doing, like cruising down the highway at 80 miles an hour. The Versys can do that. This one, I wouldn't want to wring this thing out for that much, for that long, especially having dirt tires. So this fills my role for intended purposes for exploring dirt roads and back roads and looking for old relics. That's something I want to do. Go find like old ghost towns and abandoned buildings and things like that on this bike to take photos of them. And I think that would be really super fun, super cool thing to do. But everything else, that I've kind of discovered about this bike since I've owned it, I've only ridden it like 3 or 4 times, got a couple hundred miles on it, but so far I'm really loving it. I didn't think that I would like this bike all that much, because I always thought the XT250 was kind of a cooler looking bike, and it's a little bit shorter, but me being so tall, this bike fits me perfect. The only thing that I plan on doing is maybe getting some different tires for it. If I can find something, you know, as per somebody's recommendations, maybe one of you guys watching this video can recommend a good tire that does 50-50, you know, something that's going to be good on the road and good in the dirt, because I'm never going to probably not do too much mud or sand, but there might be the occasion where, yeah, I do run into mud or sand, but the intended purpose of this bike is to take me up dirt roads, you know, in the forest and things like that. But so if you guys have any recommendations as far as like a good set of tires for this bike would be, you know, let me know down in the comments below. And I'm really enjoying this ownership experience of this. It feels like a big giant Grom. It does, you know, a little single cylinder thumper motor, and it even sounds like one. It handles like a Grom. It's cool. It's like a Grom on steroids, but either that or maybe a Grom is just, you know, one of these things neutered. I don't know. However you want to put it. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, the topic, and the footage of me riding on a dirt road for the first time. And I really do appreciate you guys stopping by the channel, checking out my video. Please remember to leave a thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. And I'll say thank you to you guys. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around and listening to me babble on about motorcycles once again. All right, you guys and gals, ride safe, have a good day, and we will see you on the next video. Where the hell am I? Let's see if this thing can even find me on the map. And I'm getting nothing out here. I mainly just came up here to scope out this road and see what it looked like, and you know, if I could handle it, having never ridden dirt roads and stuff before. I'm gonna have to just turn around and go back, because I don't know if I have enough fuel to get all the way to Ellensburg, and I don't like being out here not knowing exactly which roads I'm supposed to turn off on to get up there. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and stop right now and turn around and go back, because I keep pushing myself deeper and deeper and deeper into this, and without guidance I'm not comfortable with being out here. I could end up making a wrong turn and get lost back up in one of these roads back here, and that would not be good. So looks like I'm just gonna head back and call this little bit of a mission somewhat of a success, and head back home.